What's up, YouTube? This is John back with another episode of Engineering Awesome. Really excited to do this episode. I have got the gantry mounted. I've got the linear rails mounted obviously on both left and right side. I've also got it mounted on the gantry. I just have to build the Z-axis basically. I have the motor mounted on one side. As you can see right here, it's not mounted on the other side. I actually managed to run out of belt, but that's something we'll talk about here in a second. Let's get into it. Let's talk about where we're at with the CNC Plasma build. I really haven't done a video like I should have. I got really into building this thing. I've been spending a ton of hours on it, and it has been an absolute blast for me. I have been using my TEG to machine some of this stuff. This is the idler mount. This is the motor mount. This stuff has really turned out well. I'm going to link to the Endmills that I used for this because frankly, these Endmills gave me new confidence with what the TEG is capable of. Now, this video is going to be awesome because I am going to do one on machining this on such a small mill as the one behind me. But these plates I am super proud of. The surface finish on them is excellent. This hole here turned out really great, and I did all of that on a small desktop mill. Now here's the motor that is going to go on the left side over there. It is set up how this is where the operator is expected to stand. The control panel will be right here. I plan on at some point putting a monitor up here, but I'm not going to worry too much about that to start with. For now, I'm going to run it off this CNC computer and we'll call that good. So, a couple of the things that I've run into with this build. I ordered 3 meters of belt for each axis. I ordered 3 meters, then I ordered 6 meters. And that sounded like it was going to be perfect because I've got 1500 millimeter rails on all of them except for the Z-axis, which is actually going to be ball screw. And so I was like, this is going to be perfect. I'm going to have exactly enough. I didn't order any extra. That's where I messed up. So it's 1520 millimeters and the motors are mounted outside the rail. The idler is also mounted outside the rail on the other side where you can't see. So that means right there I've got over 1500, and you have to double that because I've got it looped, so you know it loops over. There's twice as much. I'm already over 3 meters right there, so I screwed that up. I've got 8 meters on order, so that's 4 meters for each axis, X and Y, that I still have to put in. So whatever, I got that squared away. Now another thing that I messed up on that's going to kind of cause me some issues, not big ones, is the idlers. I went cheap. Okay, I ordered these maybe 3 weeks ago. They took forever. It was actually probably 6 weeks ago. They came in 3 weeks ago. Took absolutely forever to get them in. And looking at the drawing for them, I have got these spaced about perfectly with this shoulder head cap screw. They spin pretty well. I've got the clearance that I wanted. Perfect. Except one. So the width of this is slightly off, which means that when I thread in the shoulder head cap screw, it is a little too short. So it clamps this idler tight. So that's not going to work. But I've got enough to get the X-axis moving. Now, the next thing which I'm definitely worried about is the bearings are tighter than expected. Now, they were tighter before I ever mounted the gantry, before I ever put any other blocks on. You move just one and it's tighter than you would expect. I don't know if maybe I got some faulty Highwind rails, or bearing blocks. Maybe they're not faulty, but maybe they're knockoffs. But regardless, I'm going to make them work. I haven't greased them yet. I oiled them a little bit to try and work some of the gunk out of them, and that helped a lot. I used some motor oil, not used. Every time I change the oil on the four-wheelers, I take the oil can, flip it over inside my little squirt can, and that's the oil that I use for tapping and other things like that. So Those have been a couple of the issues that I've run into. Otherwise, the belts have worked out pretty well. Um, I'm confident that they're not really going to stretch much. So that is really, really exciting. This build has come together really well. The panel, which I'm definitely going to do a completely separate video on once I get things moving and everything, I'm super proud of that. I've got a start-stop switch which turns the power on and off. Got an e-stop on it, and I've got enough for 13, if I remember correctly, basically inputs and outputs including the motor. So yeah, that's definitely a ton, but I wanted to actually have a separate wire for this side and then that side, and then I'm actually also going to be able to square everything up by putting one on the other side for the other A-axis, which is going to be slave to this. So that is going to be another feature that this machine will have. I'm hoping that these motors are beefy enough to move it. I'm a little concerned about that now, but we'll find out and see where we get. If I need to, I'll replace these and use these bigger motors here for perhaps a bigger laser engraver. My wife's starting to do some stuff with that, so we'll see. So next step for this, definitely put the control panel on as soon as the belts come in, put them on that side, and let's try and move it. I may even try and move it with just the one, because here is the thing that makes me the most excited about this build. I haven't squared anything. I haven't done anything quite yet. And after putting the bearing blocks on and moving them by themselves and then putting the gantry on both sides, linking everything together and moving it, it's not harder to move. So it feels like nothing is out of whack. And to add to my excitement there, when I mount this gantry and I push on just this side, not in the center or anything like that, if I push on just this side, the other side does not noticeably tweak. So that is really, really exciting. I think that this is going to be a strong enough design that I'm not going to have too much issue. So I will do a couple of quick shots and show you guys a bit more of the machine, see what you guys think. But really, that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure that you like, comment, let me know what you guys think about how I'm doing, and subscribe if you guys are interested in seeing how this build progresses. I'll see you guys next time on Engineering Awesome.